Hey guys, Coach Phil Farrelly. Long time since I've done a video. So just putting in the volume up, hope you guys can hear me okay. So what this video is about, I've saw an opportunity to give some value. I'm doing a little bit of work in retail and impressed with what they're doing. A lot of people before they start the work they do a bit of warm up to help prepare them and minimize injuries. And I thought I've learnt because I'm a personal trainer, I've learned a lot of techniques, and I thought these can better target people who work in retail who may or may not be getting injuries. To make this video easier, what I'm going to do is, because it might be a little bit long, I'm going to edit the comment and I'm going to put in times. So when I discuss a certain thing, I'll put in the time that you'll see that, so you can fast forward and rewind the video as you need, so it's a lot more value. Now, in preparing for this, I had a look at, just did a bit of research and some of the reasons why people get injuries, especially working in retail. So sometimes they do a lot of repetitive work. It can be sustained for quite a long time, like they might be in a sustained hold position for a while. There's things like slips and trips. And all of these exercises and the warm-up protocol I'm going to give is going to help prepare the body to, it won't necessarily stop an injury or an accident, but it'll help prepare your body to react better for it, and you'll be able to recover a lot quicker from it. So some of the other things, obviously, you've got repetitive lifting, you've got repetitive heavy lifting, you've got high lifting. Some people might overreach in some of the work tasks. They might be doing things like standing for long times, sitting for long times as well. And as I mentioned before, slips and trips. And then there's other things that this warm-up protocol might not necessarily help with, but there's other cases where they might fall off a ladder, or they might be using a step and step awkwardly off that. One of the exercises I'll be giving you will help prepare your body for that as well. And other cases are objects falling, say, from a shelf, but I can't necessarily help prepare you for that. But they're some of the most common injuries when you look at the research into it. And some of the common sites for the injuries, if you start working from the body up, you might have your ankle, there can be some knee issues, lower back, there can be things like with shoulders or rotator cuffs, things with wrists, elbows, like tennis elbow, go for elbow, so wrists, and then with the grip as well. So I know I've gripped something too suddenly, and then I've had a little bit of a problem just with my finger, and it's taken a little bit of a while to massage it and to stretch it out. So all of these exercises I'm going to give will help prepare your body, minimize any of those kinds of injuries. And this warm-up protocol I'm going to give you now, there's several stages. You want to do it in the right order. You don't want to mix up the order. So it's called a ramp protocol. So the R is for raising the body's temperature. So what that's going to do is it's going to get blood flowing through the body. When you've raised your body's temperature, like all your joints will be more warmed up, and muscles warmed up, and yeah. So for doing a live video, it's been a while since I've done this, so I might forget some of the notes that I've taken as well. So R is for raising the body's temperature. So A is for activating key muscle groups and stabilizing muscles. M is for mobilizing, so you want to mobilize some joints. And P is for potentiate the neuromuscular system, so it gives you greater force production. And it's really important to do the exercises in that order. I'm going to give you a whole heap of exercises you can do for each stage. And then at the end, I'm going to just do a really quick, just choose a select few, some of the key important ones, run through it. And as I said, I'm going to edit the notes to this, put in timestamps. So if you want to fast forward or rewind, you can go to the right part that you want to go to. So with the R, raising the body's temperature, really easy, simple one, especially if you don't have much space, is to do, you want to do walking knee highs and alternate arm swings. So you want to start slow and then start going faster and faster. I'm just changing position so you can see. And then go faster and faster and faster. And then also, well, when you do this, make sure your workout space is free, so you're not going to hit anything, especially like people next to you. Make sure you give yourself enough space. So I'm checking behind, I'm not going to hit anything. So also going to do alternate arm swings and then butt kicks. If you really tighten the quads, you'll feel your quads starting to work. And with these knee highs, what that's going to do is it's a really gentle stretch for your lower back and your hamstrings. Anyone who's got a problem with that. This next one, it's a bit of fun. You can do it at the start or at the end, so it's just shadow punches. Because some people will be pushing a trolley, so you're using your chest and your shoulders. And then you start slowing and go faster and faster and faster. When you're doing this, I know in retail, time is really limited as well. Maybe do about 5 to 10 repetitions of each. Just make sure your heart rate is up a bit. So that short amount, my heart rate got up a bit. So they're just some really quick, simple things to raise the body's temperature. The next bit is activating key muscles. You want to go for the main one. So we're just going to work with the legs. So with this one, you want to go as wide as you can in your stance. And actually what I'm going to do now, I might just cover some really basic concepts too, in terms of breathing, engaging your core and stability, and with your feet. So when it comes, we'll start with the feet. So imagine my hand as a foot. This is my big toe, or say that's the big toe. That's the small toe. That's the heel. So you want, look at this triangle here. You want all of that to be in contact with the ground. So before you do any lifting, before you do any tasks, start from the ground up. So just check, are my 3 points of contact with the ground? Also, the further your feet are apart, the more stable your base is going to be. The closer your feet are together, the more unstable you're going to be. So if you want stability, go as wide as you can in your stance before you do any lifting. And then with the glutes, you want to make sure you're squeezing your glutes and engaging them. So you don't have to squeeze them so hard that like you're crushing something between your butt cheeks. But it's just about just gently squeezing them so you can just feel them engage. So even if you just do that a few times, a really funny way I get people to engage the glutes. Imagine you've got a winning $1 million lottery ticket. You protect that with your life. Imagine it's between your butt cheeks. Someone's behind you. They're trying to steal your $1 million. You want to squeeze your butt, stop them from stealing that $1 million. A really good way of engaging your glutes. And then when it comes to the core, like your trunk, what you want to do is not necessarily suck your stomach in really hard. You want to just tense it like you've just jumped into a really cold pool of water. So jump into a cold pool of water and just tense it. And you should feel all here engage. And remember, you squeeze your glutes. You've got the 3 points of contact with the ground. You've got a nice stable base. And even if you just gently squeeze your hands as well, and that's going to create tension all through your whole body. So that's going to give you a great stability. And now with breathing, before you do a lift, or as you go to lift, or as you go to exert yourself, you want to breathe out as you go to exert yourself. And what that's going to do is create intra-abdominal pressure. It's going to be a lot safer for you. You'll be able to lift more, and you'll be able to lift for a lot longer, a lot more safely. So getting back to, so we've done the R for the raise the body's temperature. We just covered some basic core or key concepts. Now we're doing A for activating the major muscles. You just want to go for a wide stance, as wide as you can. You want to turn your toes out. So you want to make sure your knees track in line with your second toe. And then what you want to do is just squat down like you're sitting in a chair, and then squeeze your glutes. Breathe out as you come up. So lower down slow, breathe out, squeeze your glutes. Just do, say, a few of those, so 3 to 5. Now, if you can, not everybody's going to be able to do this. Only go as far as it's comfortable. You don't want any pain when you're doing this. So we're going to squat down if you can. Probably can't see this very well. I'm putting my elbows just on the inside of my knees. So going down, and then what I'm doing is that I'm pushing, using my elbows, I'm pushing against my knees. And then I'm trying to hold my knees steady. Just hold it for, say, a couple of seconds. Squeeze your butt, come up, go back down again. What we're going to do this time is you're going to do the opposite. So you're going to squeeze your knees against your elbows and then hold your elbows steady. Hold for a couple of seconds. Squeeze your butt, breathe out, come up. Go back down. This time what we're going to do is we're going to do both. You're going to push against your elbows and then squeeze your knees in. Hold for say 3 seconds. Come up. And this next one, what we're going to do is you're going to squat down and then reach forward. Come back up. With your back, avoid arching your back. When they talk about a straight back, because this is one of the questions I had, some people assume a straight back is vertical. Straight back is, you want, they call it a neutral spine, so your head, your neck, and so your hips all in one straight line. So hopefully that's neutral spine. I'm also looking at the camera. And in this case, you're going to reach forward as you squat down, come back up, squeeze your butt, breathe out. So this next one, what we're going to do is, will help people warm up for especially their lower back, in slight bend in the knees. So you're going to throw your butt back, just lean forward a little bit, breathe out, squeeze your glutes, only go down as low as it's comfortable. You don't want any pain in this. If there's pain, stop straight away. You might find if your hamstrings are tight, you're going to feel that. So hamstrings, the back of the legs. Don't go too far past that tight stretch feeling. Each time you might be able to go down a little bit deeper each time as well. So what we're going to do in this next one, we're going to activate the hip stabilizing muscles. So you just want to stand, one leg, slight bend in the knee, and then just take your leg out to the side, pause, and then back. So you should feel this just up in the hips here. So anybody who's watching this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the comments. I'm going to put a timestamp, and I'm just going to put in a little comment on what I've discussed and when. So if you want to fast forward or rewind this, you can. So if you've got anyone who works in retail, share this, tag their name in it. It'll help them extend their working life and minimize any injuries they might have. So I'm just filling this up in my hip just here. You want to keep your feet parallel as well as you do this. This is good for balance too. See this next one, what we're going to do, if you need to, have something for support, like a wall, or when this social distancing is finished, you can hold on to someone's shoulder. So what I'm going to do is slight bend one leg, I'm hooking one leg over the other, and I'm just sitting back like I'm sitting in a chair. If you reach forward with your hands, that'll help with your balance. So what I'm doing, getting a bit of a stretch, just out here. And you might find your leg wobbles, which is why you might need to hold on to something. How this is going to help you is that if you have a slip or a trip, see, all my stabilizing muscles from my feet right up through my body are being activated. So we're strengthening that. So if you ever have a slip, your body will react quicker. You won't necessarily stop an injury or an accident, but your body will be able to react a lot more quickly. So with this one, you just want to go down. This is called a flamingo. And then back up. And then same the other side. Down. My balance is off a little bit. I twisted one of my ankles a very long time ago. So one side is a lot more stable than the other. So you guys might notice this too. When you do single-sided work, one side of the body might be stronger than the other, or might be more stable than the other. So when I'm doing this, remember the 3 points of contact with your feet. My knees just coming forward a little bit. I change the angle. So sitting back, only go down, like I said, as low as it's comfortable. If that's as far as you can go, that's fine. And then up. So the next one's one of my favorites. Look overhead, make sure you don't whack anything. I've got a fan here. So feet about hip width apart. So I'm going to drive my hips one way, reach my arm overhead, and you should feel all the way down. I only go a little bit to start with, just to check that it's okay and it's safe. Then the other side. Imagine a plate of glass in front of you and behind, and you want to not touch that glass. It's not about leaning forward or to the side or leaning back, because that's actually one of the ways people get injuries in retail. They'll lean back a bit too far, causing problems. So because I'm starting to warm up a bit, and this, oh my god, this is freaking awesome. I love this one. Oh god, yeah. Go a little bit deeper if you can. So this is all about the A, which is activating the key muscles that you're going to use, and things like stabilizing muscles. This next one, if anyone with like rotator cuff or shoulder problems, this will help with grip strength too, prepare you for things like your elbows, like for tennis elbow, golf elbow. If you have to, you can do this with the elbows in tight to the side. And when you go to do this too, so your shoulder blades, you want to imagine the bottom of your shoulder blades staying in your back pocket. So getting my shoulders back, keeping them in my back pocket. If you have to, elbows in tight to the side, but otherwise straight out. And what we're going to do is, I'm squeezing my hands, so we're activating your grip strength, because you need that in retail. And I'm pushing my hands together for a couple of seconds, relaxing, pushing my hands together, and you should feel this in your chest. And you can also go on a different angle, even if you just slowly change the angle. So squeeze my hands, push together, release, keeping the shoulders back. And then now, make sure you keep the shoulders back. So I'm going to pull my hands apart. So I'm just going to do that here. So squeeze for a couple of seconds, relax. Squeeze for a couple of seconds, relax. Even if you feel comfortable, do it in an arc. So I'm pulling my hands apart, so I'm squeezing my hands together, activating the grip strength. So it's going to help work your shoulder. So that's examples of A, which is activating key muscles and stabilizing muscles, so shoulder stabilizing muscles too. The next part is mobilization. Just going to keep it really short and simple on this one. One way of doing this is you can either just step forward or do on the other leg. So step forward. If you can, grab that leg. If you need to, have you hold something for support for your balance. Remember about 3 points of contact for your feet. Slight bend in the knee. And what I'm doing is that you don't want to arch your back when you do this. If you can, try to keep your knees together and just gently push your hips forward. And you're going to feel your quads stretch. And then just go to the other side. You can also have your hands behind your back of your head. So hop or step, grab the foot. So this side is not my best balance side, as you can see. 3 points of contact with the ground. Slight bend in the knee with the leg that's on the ground. And I'm feeling my quad stretching. And then the last part is P for the warm-up, which is potentiate the neuromuscular system. So it'll help with greater force production. So if you're like pushing a trolley, if you're lifting, a lot of things like if you're pulling a box towards you. This can be kind of fun, and as I said, make sure there's no fan above you or nothing that you're going to hit. So you want to hands down to your knees. Start slow to begin with, and then you want to go faster. So I'm going to try to touch the sky and then go up on my toes. So some people call this a total body extension or a skier swing. If your shoulders aren't good, just come hands up to here. Otherwise, if you can, right up, and then go faster and faster and faster. You can just do so 5 to 10 reps. Another one which we did at the start, which is fun. It's good to finish on. It's a great stress release, especially for the ladies. I wouldn't recommend this, but if you've got someone you don't like, just imagine that you're doing this to them. But anyway, it's a great fun thing. So you're just going to do shadow punches. So with your feet, you want to imagine like a square. Got one foot in the front left corner, your right foot on the back right corner. That's if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, just swap your feet around. You could do it anyway. Swap it around, it's good for the brain. So slight bend both knees, just gently squeeze your butt, engage that core like you've jumped into a cold pool of water, and then just start slow and then go faster and faster and faster. So that's some really good exercises to help prepare you for your daily work tasks. You're going to be able to extend your work life because you're going to minimize any injuries. And a lot of these exercises, recently I had some back issues and I basically couldn't get up off the ground. I collapsed to the ground, couldn't get up, I had to call an ambulance. They had to give me a lot of painkillers. They got me to do some stretches to help loosen it up. And eventually I was able to get up and move, and it took maybe a week for it to become okay. And these were the sort of things I did to help fix it as well. So it's not just for people in retail too. And this ramp protocol can be used for anybody. But you want to use exercises that target the activities you're going to do for the day. So that's why they call it functional. Functional is things that you're going to do for that day. If you're a different job or a different sport, a different activity, the exercises in each stage might be a little bit different. What I'm going to do now, I know this is a very long video. Like I said, anyone who's watching, I'm going to edit the comments. I'm going to put in like a timestamp. So say for example, I'll just put in at the start that these are the common injuries that happen. These are the sites of the injuries. I'll just mention example exercises for each stage of that ramp protocol. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a really quick rundown of how you can put it all together. So R, raising the body's temperature, walking knee highs, swinging the arms. So this is get the opposite arm and leg working too. So I'm going to do butt kicks. So remember, make sure there's nothing behind you. Because I'm in a room, I'm not going to go too fast. And you might get the coordination mixed up, and that's why you can laugh with people too. So he's had their coffee for the day and he's awake. So I'm just going to do some shadow punches now. So that's A, so my body's all warmed up. So major muscle groups for the A, activate. We're going to do sumo, squat, squeeze your butt, come up, breathe in, breathe out as wide as you can in your stance. So now pushing my elbows against my knees, coming up, down, pushing my knees against my elbows. Squeeze your butt, come up, go down, doing both. Squeeze against your elbows and your knees. Now we're going to reach forward. Really make sure that everything is engaged, so you jumped into that cold pool of water. You're stopping someone from stealing your $1 million lottery ticket. We're going to do my favourite one. And because I've done this already, I'm a lot more warmed up. God, this feels so good. Oh God, yeah, I love this one. Going to do flamingo now. If you need to, hold on to something for balance. Just hooking the leg over the other. Go down as far as it's comfortable. Squeeze your butt, come up. Remember that 3 points of contact with the ground with your feet. You can do say 3 to 5 reps, however much time you've got. Out of all the exercises, this is probably about the best one. So I wouldn't be skipping this one. I'd include this in every single warm-up that you do. Okay, so that's actually now we're going to do the shoulder one. Pulling the hands apart. So activating that grip strength. Now pushing my hands together, squeezing my hands together. Try not to arch your back either. Just going to quickly do M for mobilization. Real simple one. I'm not going to cover too much in this one. Getting that quad stretch. So hopping. So I'm feeling a stretch out the front here. And now we're going to do potentiate. Make sure nothing above you, you're not going to hit. I can probably bash my hands against the ceiling, so I'm not going to do that. No, just shadow punches. You can punch a giant's nose. You can pretend you're a giant, punch someone down, and then straight. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, anyone who's watching this, I'm going to edit the comment. I'm going to put in timestamps so you can fast forward and rewind. And this last bit, I've just covered a quick sequence that you can follow. Any questions? Make sure you let me know. Everyone's going to be a different stage of fitness too. They may or may not be able to do some of these. You don't want to feel pain. And just remember, make it fun, laugh, add a dad joke, and actually when you're laughing, that blood pressure drops too. You have more fun, and you'll be able to go out and serve your customers with a higher energy too. So crack a dad joke. That's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, so remember, no pain. If you've got any questions, let me know. If you need anything modified, let me know as well. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys are awesome. Have an awesome day.